When you run CheckPoint for the first time, you'll see something like this, the main software with the project loaded in the project navigation pane. To change projects, click on the projects button top left. That will take you to a list of the projects on your computer. There are options down the bottom here to create new projects, create from an existing, clone an existing project, import from backup, download a project from the cloud server. Once you've got the projects listed here, you can just click on the project you want, click on Home, and the system will load that project in. So click on Projects, select the project you want, click on Home, and the system will load the project in. Then got a few options on the Home toolbar. The right-hand side here, we've got some tools that we'll look at in some separate videos. Things like the display theme, you can change the color to suit your preference of the software. But most of the work we do is down in the project navigation window. And you just click through there to see the various options in the software. So let's start at the top here. So we've got our project details, and this contains all the information and setup for the project. So for instance, if you want to come in and look at the client, you can come and click on the client under project configuration, enter any information in here. When you're happy with that, click on save. And this contains things like the project dates, various information about the project. If you come down through here, you've got the geomatic setup, you've got any perimeters, the pre-plot, a few additional settings to do with project completion, emissions calculations, that sort of thing. Then below that, you've got a whole series of sections that relate to the data entry section. So if you find yourself looking for something to do with daily activity, click on daily activity, and you can come in and say change your categories and your colors in here, providing you've got security to do that. Then within the actual project itself, there's a number of different pages depending on how your project's set up, what type of project it is. And these are slightly color-coded just to give you different options. So we've got green here for the HSE, red for the actual project activity, and red for the PSO, MMO side of things, environmental side. So if we click on, say, HSE diary, there are options in here. Then you've got a calendar, and you can come in, and your data page will look much like this. You'll have a comment page at the top, comment text section at the top. Then below that, you'll have events, exposure hours. So if you want to, you can come into here and type in your text in here. What you will find is if you make a spelling mistake, the system won't stop you, but it will allow you to show you a red underline to show you there's a spelling mistake in there. You'll also find if you're typing the same information each day, there are options on the top here or on the right click to just bring in the data from the previous day. Below this, in this case, for the HSE diary, we've got a form entry and a table entry. So for the form entry here, we just click on Add New, and we'll come to a subform here where we can add in different information about what happens. So say we had a toolbox meeting, we could put a comment title in there, say who was involved, number of people involved, and put in a comment in here and add that in. So once we've added that in, we'll start to build up a list of those events. If you want to edit the event, just come and click on it, and you can come and make some changes and save. For more simple data entry, we use our exposure hours. So as an exposure hours, we use our table. So you come into here, and you've now just got the ability to enter, select, and enter, and you're done. And you can delete or add in new options. And again, you can copy from previous and just drop that in from the previous day, particularly things like exposure hours where the number of people on the crew or on the vessel doesn't change. It's just easier to copy in from the previous day, add that through. You may see a few comments down the bottom. Once you're happy with that, just click on save, and that data will be entered for the day in question. So that's the case for anything that has a daily component or daily reference is added through a table. For information that is not necessarily registered to a specific day or has multiple options, then that you'll see a list appears. So we've got, say, the sound velocity here or the acquisition lines. They come as a list. You can come, click and open an existing item, and you'll see the form there again where you can enter your information. If you want to add a new one, just click on either add at the top here or add on this toolbar, and the system will show you the blank form where you can go in and type your information in there. The system will also show you, and you'll see it here in the speed sightings page, and also if you come up to the calendar, if there's anything where the system thinks that there's been data not entered completely, it will come in and show you. So in this case, we've not set the entry state. So there's an alert there. If we set that to final and save, then that will disappear. So that's the data entry. Coming down through our project, we've then got our reports. And with the reports, you've got a series of different templates for daily, weekly, monthly, project, other report types available through the project. All of those templates, just double click, will open that particular template. So I've opened a daily report here. I can then step through the different days of the project, and the system will load in and build that report up. When you're happy with that report and you've got all the information loaded and you want to publish it, there's options on the right here to publish, email, print, or save. So you can save that to a PDF. We also allow saving to Word and to Excel. Further down the project, there's some stuff to do with entering global comments about what's happening in the job. There's some calendars. There's also the map in here, which allows you to see anything that has a spatial content. The map allows you to come in and change things like your background color. You can add in mapping data from shapefile, KML, TIFF, all that sort of information. Manual points, if you want to add in a reference point of a rig or something like that, you can add those in and drop those in. And then the actual project itself, so any boundaries, pre-plots that we've entered, and the acquisition data that we've entered. And all of those, just click on there. If you want to change the color that's displayed or change how it's displayed, you can select that accordingly and the system will change that display as you want it. You've then got the ability to store images, and you can store just generalized image, things like project company logos, that sort of stuff can be dropped into the images section. We've also got options to do daily images in reports, and I'll look at those in a separate video later on. And then finally, any document storage. So any reports that you generate, if you have the system set to capture those, they will appear in here. Any other documents, these can be dropped in. And with the images and the documents, you can just add in by right-clicking and import, and add pick an image and drop it in accordingly. So that's just a brief look at the main sort of top-level function of CheckPoint.